Unit 6, Lesson 5.
Guys, welcome back to Unit 6, Caring for Individuals and Families, Lesson 5, The Importance of Shelter. So our learning goals for this lesson will be to recognize the importance of shelter, identify methods in designing and using your space, and recognizing crucial household tasks. So you need shelter. How you use the space that is yours within your home typically reflects your priorities, and it's also affected by the environment by which you live. One of your basic needs is protection from the extremes of cold, heat, rain, and dangerous offenders, for example. Also, the type of shelter that you have depends on many factors, such as geographical location. So, the community you live in, whether urban, rural, or suburban, can determine what type of housing is available. It also provides basic needs for protection and safety, such as policing, public utilities, and public health care. What we call home meets emotional needs at times, where you can be assured of privacy and a peaceful environment. However, many children face many of their difficulties in their home. But generally, it's familiar and it's a canvas for personal expression. So the number of homeless people in Canada is increasing rapidly. More and more individuals have no permanent forms of housing. They either live in the street or in temporary/emergency shelters. However, shelters have also been described as dangerous due to violence, theft, rape, and abuse. This is an epidemic and it needs to end.
They're crackheads, they're lazy, they're just drunk. They choose to be homeless.
They're always harassing me for money. Why should I care about them?
In my honest opinion, I don't I don't know how to feel about them.
They might be rich, but they're kind of hiding themselves to be homeless. They always ask for a lot of change.
You can't judge how a homeless person became homeless.
There are a lot of people that are homeless for absolutely no good reason. In the city of Toronto, statistics tell you that in any given year, there's at least 10,000 youth that are homeless. And in any given night, there are 2,000 youth on the streets of Toronto. And that's way too high. I think one homeless person is way too high, but definitely 2,000 people, 2,000 youth in one night. And there are situations, there are circumstances where that could have been avoided.
I have schizophrenia, and sometimes I don't act appropriately in the society and in the community.
For men, women that are homeless, it could be the breakdown of a marriage, the loss of a job, mental health, some type of sickness, where they can no longer tend to, the normal routine of life, like holding down a job, paying bills, and so forth.
I was working and have some breakdown due to stress. Now that you're homeless, nobody is required to give you any medication unless you agree to stay in a home and supervise you, and the social worker will monitor you taking your med. I I ask for money in the panhandling. I eat here and there. I sleep here and there. You know, at the City Hall, Osgood Hall, they have breakfast in the morning, and the Salvation Army truck. You know, these things just happen. You don't expect them to happen. You don't imagine it will happen.
And do you go anywhere when it's cold?
Yeah, the shelter.
And is it hard to get in?
No, like people that goes around, they see to it that you go to the shelter for the warning of the bad weather. Right now, I'm enjoying living outside. You don't have stress.
I grew up in like group homes and stuff, so it's kind of like jail, but you're allowed to leave every once in a while. Well, after that, the children's aid couldn't control where I stayed, so I tried to go back to live with my mother, but like I kind of felt like their lives would move on without me, so I just decided it was better off that I was on my own. I just kind of took it as it is. I just kind of accepted it.
Did you feel numb at all, or any kind of shock?
No, I knew exactly what was going on.
You weren't scared?
No.
Now of the Ontario Safe Streets Act, which prohibits, public solicitation of funds or so forth, which, directly affects panhandling or squeegee kids. That, in essence, has caused criminal activity to go up because now it's criminal, but, a lot of youth have no other means of making money, so they disregard the act and then they find themselves on the wrong side of the law.
I end up going to jail a lot. Cops don't like homeless people. They're trying to clean up the streets, right? So that their solution is to put them all in jail, find reasons to. Whether it be they've got an open can of beer in public, or you're drunk in public, just throw you in jail.
So do you feel they target homeless people more than they target average people?
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
They're trying to clean up the streets, and the people who pay taxes and stuff don't like to see people sitting on the sidewalk, right?
Do you think that's fair?
No, but it happens. You sit in one spot all day, you see 1,000 people walk by, you're going to see the best and worst of everybody, right? Lots of people help out. Like, we put a hat out all day, sit here, and people help us out, give us some money so we can eat and drink and have fun. Kick my hat full of change all over the place and scrambling, and they go push me over while I'm trying to pick it up. It's like, get a job. Or a bunch of different stuff.
And how do you respond to that?
Just let it go most of the time. lot of stuff. If the world goes to shit, if the world falls into anarchy, I'll be okay. Make sure you got enough blankets to keep warm at night, and just keep eating during the day. I don't really see any negatives. No.
I ended up getting date raped, losing my keys. And I said, all right, well, I don't want to explain this to my father because he's not going to be able to do anything about it. He's just going to have so much rage that this happened to his daughter that he loves. I guess I'm homeless now. It was a really dark time in my life. I spent months in bed just not being able to move. I have clinical depression, PTSD from some other trauma I've experienced. We just deal with what life brings us, and then by the time that it comes, we try not to deal with too many angry drunk people because that's dangerous, right? Like, we don't want to get followed to our sleep spot.
Some of the safety issues for homeless people, especially women, is sexual abuse or sexual solicitation. And that happens a lot. At least 60% of women that are homeless have encountered some type of sexual abuse or sexual solicitation, and is one of the causes for them becoming homeless, and is also a cause for some homeless women to not want to stay in institutions or so forth because they feel it is unsafe.
I could not honestly tell you how many times I've been sexually assaulted.
By other homeless people or?
People. Just people. It doesn't matter like what socioeconomic status they have or what lifestyle they've had. It would be nicer if someone said, hey, you know what? Fuck off, homeless scum. Suck my d-, instead of just treating us like we don't exist. Like, if we say something, you're like, hey, could we bum or buy a cigarette? Just don't lie to me. Tell me, don't fucking want to give you anything. And we go, fucking cool. You meet, like, the best and the worst kinds of people, but luckily, there's so many more better kinds of people, or at least people trying to be better people, right?
Goal is to make dreams come true for homeless youth by creating positive initiatives and solutions that will rebuild, inspire, and employ them. Turning my life around, I realized it only took one person to believe in me to change my life, so I wanted to create a support system of people that would believe in these youth. We've also raised or collected close to 5 tons of donations, which we've donated, and there's no telling really the amounts of people that all came in contact with. And we have our hero training where we have youth coming in to be inspired by motivational speakers and entrepreneurs, and we do that monthly as well. So it's hard to really say. I'm not counting, but we're helping quite a few people. Considering we've only been around for 2 years, I'm following my calling. It's just what I want to do. It's what I believe all of us at some point should do with their lives.
So, in order to meet your housing needs, do you sometimes invite friends to your house? If so, your home is helping you meet your social needs. It's often more comfortable than going out because it's more personal and there's no rush to leave. So where you and your family live is closely related to the resources, values, and goals of the family. In an urban setting, you're more likely to get employed. You have goals of financial security and you have less of a commute time. In rural and suburban areas, there's a longer commute. There's less employment, but you may be able to afford a larger home. So also, sometimes families choose neighborhoods which are close to others of the same cultural background. This can provide an easy access to familiarity, such as food, markets, and cultural amenities. So usually families share their living spaces into either shared spaces and private spaces. Kitchens and living rooms are the most commonly used areas. This is often used as a socializing spot for guests. Bedrooms and bathrooms, on the other hand, are usually private spaces. So in designing your space, living spaces provide opportunities for creative expression. Family members can use the elements and principles of design to create rooms conveying different messages. This can express tastes, culture, and personality through design. Color is the element that can have the most impact on the atmosphere of the room. Warm colors such as orange, brown, yellow, and red can create a feeling of warmth. Cool colors such as green, purple, and blue can create an atmosphere of serenity and calmness. Hospital rooms, for example, are often cool colored. Line refers to obvious lines within an object or the outline of an object. It causes the eye to move in a certain direction, and it creates height and width optical illusions. It can also be used to make rooms or furnishings look larger or even smaller. So vertical lines make the room look higher, and horizontal lines make the room look lower and longer. So texture refers to the feel of an object when it is touched. So wood, glass, and ceramics are hard and smooth, which looks modern and clean. Soft and plush textures can create a mood of comfort and can reflect light if it's shiny and absorb light if it's rough. This can all affect the mood. Form and shape refers to any object's 3D in shape. The form is determined by its function. For example, a chair is designed to allow you to sit in a comfortable position with your back upright and feet on the floor. Well-designed furniture is functional and has good form so that it is attractive to look at. It also creates spaciousness or coziness by the clever use of color, line, as well as texture. So, balance can be formal or informal. Formal balance can be achieved by arranging furnishings in equal amounts or distances from a center point. Informal balance, on the other hand, occurs when items are purposely arranged so that one side seems to have more weight. This is often achieved through the use of form or shape. You can emphasize a focal point or area of interest in any space. For example, some rooms may have a natural point of interest, such as a huge window or a fireplace. Some can use color as an emphasis, which can create movement and balance. So, sharing your space is essential in your home. Your room may be different from the rest of the family home. You may choose to decorate it in such a way that reflects you, such as posters of your favorite artists, your trophies, your medals, etc. And your room can be a place to display your personal memories. But sometimes it can cause conflict with the rest of the family, but it's always good to communicate effectively. So within housing in the global village in the world, the structure and the form of housing is greatly dependent upon geography as well as climate. What might houses look like in the Amazon jungle versus the Arctic? Also, culture and tradition reflect the style of a home. In Canada, if weather permits, the outdoors is often extended as a living space. Also, technology has also allowed us to bring the outside indoors, such as skylights, greenhouse windows, and solar energy plants. Maintaining a household is part of the responsibility for providing necessities for family members. This includes making beds, taking out garbage, doing laundry, washing dishes, mopping the floor, sweeping the floor, and preparing meals. The list goes on and on. It's always easier to live in a tidy space than a messy one. And it's easier to find things in these situations. And it's also easier to move around. This can also reduce illnesses and better up the negative moods. Also, it's easier to clean up in the moment rather than later. So families must divide up these responsibilities. And as you become more mature, more of these responsibilities will become yours. So there are time categories for household tasks, of course. Daily tasks include food prep and cleanup, cleaning personal care areas, and organizing beds, dressers, closets, etc. Weekly tasks include shopping and putting groceries away, sorting and washing laundry, collecting and disposing garbage/recycling, and vacuuming, sweeping, dusting, and mopping the house. Seasonal tasks includes cleaning closets, cleaning windows, cleaning bathrooms, cleaning wood surfaces such as floors and furniture, cleaning the oven, and checking batteries and smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. So now I will have you